So it's actually raining outside, which is pretty appropriate for this particular review because this thing, like, all the emotions. So there's this short film that just came out on Netflix on Friday as part of their Representation Matters collection. I didn't even know they had that going on, which I guess is pretty cool. But at the same time, I hear that title, Representation Matters collection, and then I'm like, but I'm still a little salty that Netflix canceled Sense8, talking about Representation Matters. That had all the representation. You canceled it after 2 seasons. But we're not going to talk about my salt that's still there for Sense8. But we are here to talk about Canvas. And Canvas tells the story of a man who's a painter, and after suffering a loss, he loses the motivation to paint. And can he find the inspiration to paint again? And while I was watching this property, I was very surprised to see it be on Netflix because as far as I know, I've never really seen Netflix doing any type of short films, especially short animated films. This project is only 9 minutes long, and this seems more like a Disney Pixar thing. And while I was watching it, just the animation style alone looked very Disney Pixar. And this property was created and directed by Frank E. Abney III. And it wasn't until I was getting ready to record this review that I actually looked him up on IMDb. And it actually turns out, which now makes sense, that he worked on a lot of Pixar properties from Coco to The Incredibles, Toy Story 4, onward, Big Hero 6. And as I read that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense because just the animation style for this short was very Pixar. And I'm actually surprised now that I know that he came from Pixar that Disney and Pixar didn't pick up this short. And again, the reason I compare it to Pixar is not even just the fact that he worked for Pixar, but for the most part, when it comes to this type of animation, Pixar is the top dog in town. Pixar is one of the best movie studios out there. And I'm not just talking about animation studios. I am talking about movie studios. Like, there are some times that Pixar films can contend for the best picture of the year. And so with that just tells you the level of quality that this short film reminded me of. And the animation was just so gorgeous. There's a specific scene where they do a close-up on the old man's face. You could just see the like wrinkles, the freckles, the moles on his skin. And I was just like, wow, this looks incredible. And not only does it look incredible, the story in itself is great. Like I said, like in my intro, like the emotions, like I didn't cry, but I was definitely in my feelings with this. And with this property, like this property, with it being a short, there's absolutely no dialogue, but that's not a hindrance for the story. Like everything that you need to know, you get from the animation and just the facial expressions from these characters and then how they interact with each other. And honestly, that's probably how they were able to spend so much money on the animation because they didn't have to spend any money paying any voice actors. And of course, with this being part of Netflix's Representation Matters collection, like this animation is about a black family, and it's very rare for you to see black families, especially in this type of Pixar animation style, or even just in an animated movie period. Like even going back to like something like a Static Shock. That was the first time you ever got a leading property with a black teenage superhero or a black superhero period. And that was back in 2004, and it hasn't happened since. And jump to 2020, Soul, which is about to come out in 2 weeks. That's going to be the first Pixar property to star a black character. And then even jump into that movie, a short film that I reviewed on Disney Plus called Out. That was the first animated type of film that was starring and about a gay couple. So I'm just loving the diversity that you're seeing in animation, and I love this particular story. Like this story had loss, it had love, it had the black family dynamic. And also the thing I loved about the story is being that it is following a black family, like it has nothing to do with the idea of just being black. Like the family just is, and they just happen to be black. And yes, I understand stories about black people dealing with racism and stuff like that are very important. And I mean, hell, I talked about Lovecraft Country, and I love loved Lovecraft Country, and a lot of that had to deal with racism, microaggressions, and stuff like that. And that still happens to black people today. So those stories are very valid and need to be told. But at the same time, sometimes I don't want to see those types of stories. Sometimes I just want to see black people living. Sometimes I just want to see characters that are black but are just living their lives outside of racism. And so you got that in this story. Like, I absolutely love this short. I would like to see more from Frankie Abney III. Like, I would definitely say this Netflix short is a blockbuster, and I would like to see Netflix do more of these. But the question is, have you guys seen Canvas? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you can, hit that thumbs up button and like this video to really help out the channel. And if this is one of your first time checking out one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.